Earlier in the series, we looked at one of the coolest tools in Onshape called the Loft tool, right up here. What it allows you to do is create multiple planes and then connect different shapes from one plane to another. So you may or may not remember what that means, but this is going to be a more advanced example of using the Loft tool, where we're going to create multiple planes and then connect stuff. So here we go. So first, in order to do this, you got to click on one of the planes, and I'm going to use the front. You can see that it's highlighted, so I'm going to click. Okay, now it's highlighted. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say offset plane. We've done this before if you've done the tutorial. And notice that it is called plane 1. We can see that right there. And up in the box here, it shows that it's 1 inch from the front plane. It's parallel to the front plane, but it's 1 inch away. So I'm going to make that, let's say, 3 inches. And watch what happens to plane 1 when I check mark this, or when I hit enter. Okay, so this number here determines how far this plane 1 is from this front plane. So fine, we're going to check mark that and accept it. I'm going to go back to my front plane. You can see that it's highlighted. I'm going to right click and I'm going to say offset plane again. And the last one was 3 inches away. I'm going to make this one 6 inches away. You can see plane 2 right there. And when I hit enter, watch what happens to plane 2. It's way out there. So now I have 3 planes parallel to each other. We've got front, plane 1, and plane 2. And in this example, we're going to connect shapes from one to the next to the next. We're going to kind of jump from plane to plane and connect these shapes. So the idea that I had is sometimes you see these kind of cool, like coffee table looking things that are like circular with an interesting connection. So, you've seen this before, so I'll just start it. I'm going to say sketch, and I'm going to sketch on, and notice it's plane 2. That was the one that was furthest out front. And we're going to make a center point circle, and I'm going to go to the very center because I want these things to kind of match up. This is going to be the base of my little coffee table thing. And so I'm going to make this 3 inches. All right, and let's check mark that. And now if we right click over here and say isometric, it gives us this view. And we can see that there's this base that I'm going to create. And now I want to jump from to this plane and then to that plane right there. So we're going to connect between these 3 planes. So let's try again. Let's sketch one more time. And this time I'm going to sketch on plane 1. You can see that it's highlighted. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go up to my little dice thing here and hit front so it's flat to me. And say center point circle. And this is going to be, I'm going to make this smaller. And let's dimension it. It could be anything, but I'm going to say 0.5. So kind of a thinner circle. We'll look one more time at the isometric view. And you can see we've got our big circle that will be the base of my coffee table. Then we've got a little circle in the middle that we will see what's going to happen. And now I'm going to go to all the way at the top here, the front plane, my original plane. I'm going to say sketch. And I'm going to highlight the front plane, choose the front plane to sketch on. Now I'm going to go back to the front, look at it from the front. And now, all this stuff's in the way, but I know that I am, if we look up here, I am sketching on the front plane, that original plane. So I'm going to make one more center point circle. I'm going to go here. I'm going to make this one the biggest of all. And let's dimension this and call it 5 inches. So this is like the actual table that maybe you set your coffee or books or whatever on, making that biggest. Okay, so now go back one more time, look at it in the isometric view. I got my base that's on the ground. Got the little part in the middle, and this is the top of the table. And now we use our Loft tool. And I'm going to just click on my base to start, and my little part to connect. And watch what happens. You can see that it starts connecting there. And if I go to my last one, it connected all the way from one to the end. So if we look at our, I'll check mark this, and look at our isometric view, or move this around a little bit. Look at it from the top. This is kind of our table that we made.